Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our Football Manager experiments, where today we're taking a look at a team of brothers and how they'd get on. Before we get started though, of course, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, so we can do more fantastic stuff and keep the good stuff flowing. But today, like I say, we have got a team of brothers. We're at Huddersfield Town, and what's happened is they've had a transfer ban, but they've got a shed load of family members. Basically, what we've done is we've popped all the players or a bunch of players, not every player obviously in the game because that would be crazy, but a bunch of the best players in the game who are brothers with each other into the team, and we're going to see how they get on. So an example, a few of these would be obviously Andre Ayew. He is there along with his brother Jordan Ayew. So a couple of players there. That is an example of the Boateng brothers. The De Jong brothers are there, but Luke De Jong's still out on loan at Barcelona. He'll be back next season. You got the Hazard trio. You've got Thorgan, Kylian and Eden. You've also got the Hradecky brothers, you've got the Lukaku brothers there, Mandanders, the Matic brothers, Moisander, Olsen, Pogba brothers, all three of them, the Rafinha and Thiago, the brothers there. You've got the Thiel brothers, which says Oliver, Thiel. You've got Sebastian Thiel, as well as their younger brother, Vincent Thiel. Ethan Hazard as well, he's in there as well as Juninho Bacuna. So there's plenty along with Wijnaldum and Xhaka. So loads of very, very good players. So you'd expect them to get the promotion straight away. But from there, it'll be interesting to see how things go. So what we'll do, they are predicted supposedly to come 23rd in the division. But I think that might change as we go forward. But there you go. We'll jump ahead and take a look at how they get on. Alright, so we're just a year ahead. One thing to note, which I didn't mention, was the fact that these players are all transfer arranged. So they won't be leaving the club at all either, unless they retire or well, actually, even if they won't even retire, they'll just stay at the club. So they're going to get very, very old by the end of this. But yeah, so we can see they have finished top of the championship. Their key players being Lukaku and Wijnaldum, as you'd expect. The only other players that join the club are the youth players, so that would be the only players that would come in. But we can see here they're playing a 5-4-1 formation. Jordan Ayew up top, Vincent Thiel, Hazard, Pogba, Thiago, Augustin, Pogba, Boateng, Wijnaldum, Bacuna. So, to be honest, there's not actually many brothers in the lineup, the first team lineup. Only the Pogbas have the pair of them. But otherwise, it's a good team. So they've done what we'd expect, reaching the top of the table of the Sky Bet Championship, 101 points in total. So absolutely smashed it there. Lukaku getting 21 goals in the season. Average ratings from Wijnaldum, Hazard and Lukaku, all very, very good. And assists, Eden Hazard getting 14 there. So a very, very good result, as we'd probably expect. No surprises, to be honest. But we'll jump ahead again and take a look how it continues to progress. Okay then, so we're a year on again, and this time they are in the Premier League and they finished 15th. So not a bad result really, having just got promoted. You can see Newcastle have in fact got relegated, so that would be quite an interesting save to jump into, that's for sure, looking at that. But we're not looking at Newcastle today, we're looking at Huddersfield and the brothers that are involved there. Looking at the team, very similar to previously. Augustinson brothers are having to play one on the right-hand side and one on the left, both normally left-backs. You got Gini Wijnaldum playing centre-half now with Moisander and Jerome Boateng with Mandanda in goal. So having to move a few of the players round. Let's take a look at the appearances though. We can see Lukaku, Mandanda, Wijnaldum, Augustinson, Thiago and Boateng, Paul Pogba as well, all making lots of appearances there. Most assists for the club is Rafinha and Thiago. Very cool with the two brothers up there, Augustinson, Boateng and Lukaku as well. And then top goal scorer, as you'd expect, Lukaku's there with Eden Hazard just behind, with Rafinha and Pogba and Andre Ayew as well. So looking very, very good. There are a bunch of players that still haven't really played. Torrent Xhaka, Kylian Hazard, Marcus Olsen, Matthias Pogba, Uros Matic, Sebastian Thiel. A few of these players are younger, but a lot are actually quite old. So I can't, to be honest, imagine that they'd actually be getting into the first team at all and playing any first team games from now on, especially with the team that they've already got kind of set up there. Otherwise, you've got Ethan Hazard, who's still in the under-23s, and Vincent Thiel as well, who's sat in there. You've got David Underwood along with that, who's one of the academy players that they've brought in. But other than that, not bad results. Schedule-wise, we can see they how they got on. So they only really reached the FA Cup fourth round, losing on penalties to Everton. And losing 2-0 in the Carabao Cup to Tottenham. So a bit of a shame there. But with that, we will jump again ahead, see how things got on further on as the players get older and older and the brothers. Will that brotherly connection continue, or is it not enough to keep Huddersfield in the Prem? So we've gone 3 years on this time, and you can see they have unfortunately finished bottom of the table. Not quite able to escape relegation this time. It looks like that. You can see here, though, basically that players are getting older and older. They've changed formation and style with Javier Aguirre coming in as manager, Augustinsson and playing right back and left back, Hradecki in goal, Wijnaldum and Granit Xhaka at centre half, Rafinha and Pogba in midfield, with Thorgan and Eden Hazards either side, with Phil behind Lukaku. Interesting to see there that they have had to change up in manager. We'll take a look at their history, in fact, to start with. So we can see they obviously finished 15th, they got relegated and then promoted straight away again to second, but unfortunately got relegated straight away again. So that's not the greatest of outcomes. They were predicted to come 19th, so not too much of a shock there, I guess. If we take a look at top assists, we can see Eden Hazard, Thorgan Hazard being the top boys there, along with Gini Wijnaldum and Lukaku. And goals, Lukaku scoring 21 goals. He seems to be their only real outlet for goals. A few other players getting a few goals in single digits, but Lukaku's their main man. And at 33 years old, they're getting older and older. Looking at that, though, we can see that Steve Mandanda is 41 years old now. Moisander brothers, they're both 40 as well. So a lot of players are getting old in this, and it wouldn't surprise me if they continue to get lower and lower in the leagues with very little options with regards to players as players get older. They're going to slowly lose out. I guess they then start to bring in some of their youth players, but ultimately, the brothers have got them into the Prem a few times, but that's about as much as they could do. Let's jump one more time then and see how they get on just before they leave to join whichever clubs they're going to. Wow. Okay then, so they are in League One. We're in 2031 now. This is the last season where these players will be leaving. And looking at the lineup, they have had to kind of move players out and move some of the youngsters in. Augustinsson's playing at left back. You've got Thiago still in there, along with Vincent Thiel, Kylian Hazard as well, but in the first kind of 11. But otherwise, players are having to drop out. Romeo Lukaku's 38 now, so it's no real surprise. They predicted to come 5th in the table, but they ended up finishing in 24th. I mean, that is a really, really poor result. They've not played well at all this season. Looking at their history, though, in the time we've seen them, it's just been downhill. So we saw they got relegated 3 years, and then they got relegated once again from the Championship. And that also led to them being relegated straight away in League One. Maybe if we were to go on a few more seasons, it would be straight down the bottom. It's a David Wagner Stadium now. It was built in 2028, so only a couple of years ago. So that's quite cool. 33,000 capacity stadium. Players, though, we can see here, looking at the ages, Steve Mandanda, Moisander, Boateng, Olsens, the Matic brothers, Boatengs, they're all over the age of 40. There's very few players that are under that now. Like, if we take a look at Steve Mandanda, for example, we know he's 46 years old. Look at those stats, absolutely capitulate. They're all moving to El Duhail now in the summer, so it won't be long until they move on. But it's quite crazy, really, when you look at it, how they've continued. You've got 38-year-olds in Pogba, Thorgan Hazard, Lukaku, Sebastian Thiel's 37 as well. So they're very limited. I mean, Ethan Hazard, 27 years old, hasn't developed very well at all. Bakuna, who's 33, Vincent Thiel, who's 31, Olivier Thiel as well, 34. So I think it's the age has really got to them at this stage, and unfortunately, it's meant that they've got relegated twice in a row. But with that, we will leave it there. Bit of an interesting one, I thought, today, just to see the players how they'd get on if they were at a club together, and if it would work. And it does. There are players that have a majority, very versatile and can play in multiple positions, so it works absolutely fine. Can get into the Premier League, that's for sure. But with that, let's leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below of any other experiments you want me to take a look at, and I'll see you in the next one.